Peace, everybody. Welcome to the Confession Corner, a space where young black adults are able to talk about real life situations, mental health, and self awareness. I am your host, Vina, and today we have a very special guest. I am so grateful to have him here. It is a pleasure to have him here. So I'm going to let him go ahead and introduce himself and talk a little bit more about what you do, who you are, and get into that.
Yeah, definitely. Lena, is great to be here.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Of course.
Love what you got going on. Been loving you for a long time. But yeah, so my name is Haneef Hardy. Haneef Hardy from Philadelphia, live in Baltimore now. I'm a nonprofit founder. I run my own nonprofit called Unlimited Potential with the acronym of UP. Focus on entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and arts within like the Baltimore region of the youth. That's like my main focus, my bread and butter. But outside of that, I'm also like a college professor. I teach sociology. A lot of people be like, "What's sociology? What's sociology?" So I tell everybody, it's just like it's the discipline. It's our job to make sense of things that y'all think don't make sense.
Okay.
The study of society, the study of patterns, the study of interactions. Who are you in a group? Who are you out of a group? What's your social norms? What's right? What's wrong? Like a lot of these things don't make sense, but in real reality, they really do.
Oh, great. How do you like being a professor?
I love it. I'm one of the youngest professors on campus, still in my 20s, but I think it's beautiful because it was never like a thing I wanted to do. Like I never was like
Really?
I never grew up like, oh, I'm be a teacher, I'll
Professor.
be a professor. I got kicked out of 13 different schools growing up. Like
13?
I got kicked out of a lot. I was like one of those behavior kids
Yes.
with high
Oh,
risk.
okay, okay, okay,
So
okay.
like being a teacher was like the last thing on my list, like last thing. And being an athlete wasn't the first thing either.
He was a very good athlete. Teammates, I
um,
seen you live in action.
so to answer your question, I think it's kind of dope now because it's like a full circle moment. Like the kid that was always in trouble, the ones that kicked out of class, is now standing in front of a young adults, tell them to chase their dreams and don't let the system label them and chase your wildest, like things like that. So it's like a full circle moment every day.
Okay. And that's the 13 schools that got me at first. I was like,
Yeah,
13?
yeah,
Excuse me?
yeah.
But
Got
here you
13
are
schools.
now and see how it just manifests into the man that you are. So it's great to see that. It's great to have you aligned with your purpose now and your passion. Your nonprofit, how do you feel about just creating that and having that become more prominent as you grow along?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to start because like so the nonprofit Unlimited Potential is to help you and others tap into who you truly are. What's your unlimited potential? So when I first did it, it wasn't for others. It was literally like for me to uplift myself. Um, and just to give people and more people more context of what I mean by uplifting myself. Being born in Philadelphia, born and raised, um, everything was great growing up. Like the first couple years of my life, my mother, my stepfather, my brother, siblings, everything was great. But then by like fourth grade, things took a turn for the ill. Like father left the house home, mother started doing drugs, my A's turned to F's. Just things started to like change. So for a very long time, I always been in search for that initial feeling of having that family structure at one point. Then just getting older, then like meeting an eighth grade teacher. My eighth grade teacher introduced me to her family. Then they adopted me, and then I go to college, and I think I made it. Then the others like it's so many emotions. Then at one point, I get a phone call saying my mom passed away, my biological mom, and that was the time where I need to find the most motivation to uplift myself. So I just like found different ways, like YouTube channels. I just changed my perspective of seeing the world, and from there, I just created this common core of like be who you needed when you were younger. So
Okay.
that's how my nonprofit started with like being who I needed when I was younger.
Right.
So I graduated college. I'm a substitute teacher in Baltimore City. I'm teaching first grade. And I literally see myself in my students. They come in nose snotty, shoes untied, and it reminded me of myself.
Aw.
And I didn't really know what to do or how to be a major impact or a major role in their lives. But it literally just like started with like being at the school with one kid. one kid telling another kid telling another
everybody
kid.
just
And next thing you
goes
know, by the
around.
end of the school year, I got 50 kids at the school.
And they want you
And they
so
want me to
bad.
be there. So then it was like, so it wasn't me that created the program. It was like the youth wanted the attention, and I wanted to be a presence to them. So it was like, how do I create experiences for them? And then one thing led to another. Then started a nonprofit.
And just the snowball effect continued. 'Cause listen, you keep doing things. You're very prominent. No, for real. You're impactful. And it's profound work. It's not easy to be a person that everyone wants to be around, or like, oh, yeah, I'm inspired by you, whatever the case may be. Because, you know, people just like to be around and just have an idle mind. Okay, I'm just here. But actually to have somebody that's impactful and inspirational in their lives is something else.
Yeah,
it's something else.
I'm grateful. Like you got to you came, you witnessed. Like you
I
came,
was gonna say,
we've been. You came to a couple events.
But it's
so
been like 6
and
years.
And we got another event at the end of this
7,
month. Like
yeah.
so, like I'm grateful that like you were able to like come witness and like for self, you got to like feel the energy, feel the cause and what's it about, because we live in like a social media world, so people can see what's going on and really not feel the message, the connection. So
like
you
that.
got to see them in person. So you know it's not for the likes and the clout. You know like it's real for like a real connection behind it. Like you know what it is.
I was gonna say, when I went to the I didn't make it to the Christmas one.
So the Thanksgiving one then.
The Thanksgiving one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Seeing all the kids, seeing the families, seeing the teachers, you know, come up and commend you, and then like seeing them be so interactive, seeing them want to like be in the activities and eat the food, and they're so grateful, and the food was bomb. Cause y'all gonna say Jeff, bruh. That food was amazing.
Yeah.
It was really, really good. I enjoyed myself. And I enjoyed seeing you have fun and see the fruits of your labor and just make all of that just be the greatest time for the kids. Cause I'm like, yo, they are in here turning up.
I know.
Really.
And just to give like everybody a background what that event was, it was a Thanksgiving event. But like a lot of people do great work, and I hate to let my supporters or my family choose who they support for a Christmas or a Thanksgiving event. So instead of having a Thanksgiving event at the end of the month, our idea was to give our people a reason to be thankful. So we did it at the beginning of the month. It was beginning of November.
Right. It wasn't.
It was the first Friday in November. Because like I wanted to give our community and our loved ones, our supporters, like, hey, like, come in, let's break bread, but let's also like create. Let's remind each other why we need to be thankful for this month. Let's talk about the real information, the real things that took place in our history.
Look.
And really like give ourselves, if we're going to celebrate it, let's give ourselves a real reason to celebrate it.
Because we all here, we all alive, rather than just landing on Plymouth Rock.
You feel
but
me?
okay.
So, you feel me? But, so I just our kids understand that they need to be thanked, and we need to give them a reason to be thankful. So we was able to do it at the beginning of the month for them.
Did a great job.
Thank you.
So today's topic, and it's so crazy how you just talked about, you know, how you were growing up and the influence that you have on children, because today's topic we're just going to dive into is like healing the inner child. Looking more into that, how does healing the inner child look like to you, if you did feel like you lacked any type of, you know, thing, because, you know, I know some people, when they talk about the inner child, they're like, oh, I didn't have X, Y, and Z when I was younger. I didn't experience this, I didn't experience that. Just diving into that, and then more so, what are you doing now as an adult to just really mend that, to nurture young Haneef and make sure he's cared for and loved, and he knows that he is. So let's go ahead and dive into the first top of the topic. Right. Just, you know, what does healing the inner child look like to you? What is that?
So it's funny you asked me this. So for me, it went through a lot. It was like a roller coaster. I went through a lot of emotions, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of twists and turns. But I feel as though no matter how I felt, I think in my mind, I always had a destination.
Okay.
And I thought that it was going to be a straight route to that destination, but it wasn't. It was I was going to say, look. It was a GPS, and I got them getting rebooted. But it's like I went so many different ways, but I still got to my destination.
Right.
And I think that's what it was for me. And just to give you understanding of that is like I said, when I came into the world, everything was
That's
right.
great.
Everything was good. Like we had holidays. We
As
had
far as
we
I
had,
can
like,
remember, look.
we had Thanksgiving. Like everything was like the American dream. Only thing we didn't have was a white picket fence,
Dang.
but we had everything else.
You had a dog?
We had a dog.
Okay.
We had a dog and a cat, but I think we was more cat people. But like, but we had it, and when I was young, that got snatched away from me. But I knew what it felt like before it got snatched away from me. So once it got snatched away from me, like since that day, I've been on a drive to find that feeling, that emotion again. And it took a very long time. Like it got snatched away from like fourth grade. And I can say I probably felt that honest feeling probably within the last like 4 or 5 years.
Dang.
So it was like a very long time me trying to find that initial feeling that I once lost. And that's why I say it was so different throughout that stage. But what helped me get to the point where I can care about my inner child or focus on my inner child, but even before that, I grew up in an environment where like society didn't allow you to focus or care about your inner child. Like I remember
who you were
like,
as
who
a
I
child.
were.
Yeah.
Like I remember
They really,
vividly
like,
like being in fourth grade, and when I get $5, I couldn't buy toys or candy. I was going to the dollar store and buying cleaning supplies because when I turned on the light, there's roaches splattering
Lord.
everywhere. And it's like I had to be I had to think like an adult at a very young age, and I feel like that helped me. Like that navigated my life. That navigated a lot of my actions. So then when I became like a nonprofit, or I became like an educator, and I started working with youth, the beauty, like I remember going to grad school, right? And I really like went through a process of like stop hanging with friends. I literally was hanging with kids if I wasn't in class. I was teaching, coaching basketball, in class, but my majority of my time was with kids.
Okay.
So like I was listening to them, I was being around them, and like just how like I seen you act with your friends. You cater to your friends.
A lot. I do.
And I would just cater into the youth. I was
do.
just being them. And then it's like I didn't realize me creating opportunity for them was allowing me to feel that kid thing I was missing.
Right.
So then it got to a point where it was like, I don't know if I'm creating an opportunity for them or for me, because I really was enjoying it.
You see yourself in them, and it's like, oh wow, I'm helping you, but also now I'm noticing
like,
I'm helping myself.
My first time I took kids to Sky Zone,
Aww.
I'm in there sweating bricks, like, and they like, you gotta watch the kids, like, nah, somebody gotta watch me, like, I'm really enjoying myself. So it's like I find things to do, and I really find like the pureness of it, because like I hid from that feeling for a very long time. So it's like a lot of things I do for the youth is like it's really a fresh start for me still. Like the things I'm doing are brand new ideas, are brand new things I wasn't able to do as a kid. So like when we do the smallest things, like walk to the store and get chicken boxes, people
it's like lit.
People hate that I say chicken boxes. Like, it's a platter.
Oh no,
But
we say
what y'all say?
it's just a chicken and fries and mumble sauce. Like we don't say no chicken box. Oh my god.
But it's like even like that small interaction of me walking from A to B and we just getting chicken boxes, like those moments, like it's priceless. It's like us walking. It's like a.
I saw that on your. I think you had posted it. You said it was nasty. What was on it? It was like,
bruh. So look. First of all, let me get it. So
go ahead.
I'm from Philly, right? So when you say I have 4 wings and fries, it's a platter. It's a platter.
Okay.
So
different tribe, different area, different tribe.
It's a platter.
Okay.
So when I'm in Baltimore, I got chicken box. They tell me I got chicken box. They tell me chicken box. Same thing, right? But they do salt, pepper, ketchup, hot sauce. Cool. Salt, pepper, ketchup, hot sauce is cool. But they went crazy. They added the Old Bay with the honey mustard. So it was salt, pepper, ketchup.
Your stomach okay?
What? And that's what I was trying to tell them. I'm trying to tell like the first bite cool. After that, it's trash.
I'm not putting nothing
trash.
else on my chicken wings and fries except for mumbo sauce, salt and pepper, and that's it. Maybe ketchup if I'm not feeling a mumbo sauce that day. But salt and pepper, mumbo sauce, that's it.
I think Philly is great because we just do salt, pepper, ketchup, and hot sauce and call it a day. Like y'all just adding mumbo sauce and honey mustard.
Mumbo sauce is like it's like ketchup and hot sauce and something else.
Mumbo sauce is pretty good. I ain't gonna say and flex on it, but it's like
depending on where you get it from. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's a fact.
Leave that there. But just knowing that you're able to interact with these children and get in touch with yourself. Like when you said the comment, like we at Sky Zone, you're like, nah, I'm here.
Yeah, like.
Do you find yourself doing more activities like that as of recent? Just if it's not with the children, just like on your own. Because I know for me, I have yet to go to Disney World. I have yet to go to Disney World. Take myself. I want to go to Disney World so bad. I wanted to go when I was younger so bad, and I never got the opportunity to because, likewise, my life was pretty well. I mean, it's no real complaints or anything like that. Nothing was snatched away, but it turned a different trajectory because my parents got divorced, and now I'm like, okay, how do I navigate going to my dad's house to visit, making sure I'm maintaining that relationship with him, and we have a great connection, we have a great relationship, but still, now that's a different type of turn, and now there's no more family trips, you know, there's no more. We used to drive down to Baltimore, almost every other weekend just to walk around the harbor. Yeah. Just walk around and us as a family go do like paddle boating and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, so now I got to maneuver this lifestyle. Right. How do I maintain this? And some days it kind of like frustrated me because I'm like, dang, this would not have to be this way if y'all didn't, But I understood that my parents were individuals. Right. And I understood that at a very young age that if certain things weren't working out, you know, it's not really on my behalf, or like they're not blaming it on me. Like, oh yeah, it's because of y'all. It's there with them, and whatever case may be. Still keep it cordial. Still keep it. I said professional. Still co-parent in a great way, but just understanding that. I was like, dang, I didn't get to go to Disney World with these people. Like, dang. But, I mean, I'm looking to do that now that I'm an adult because I'm like, okay. And Disney World kind of crazy, but I'm willing to go ahead and.
And you never been to Disney World, right?
No.
Disney World is not for the weak.
Excuse me?
Disney World is not for the weak. I'm trying to tell you, and don't go to Disney thinking you fly. Go.
No, I heard that. It was like, nah. Don't go in there thinking you're going to be able to just spend everything. Like, you're going to have some money.
You got to have patience. Like, it's a lot. Like, I went to Disney not too long ago, and you average probably like a good 10 miles a day of walking.
Really?
You average
I don't mind that. I just need to know if I'm
waiting in 2-hour lines for a 40-second roller coaster.
I was gonna say, I was want to know if I'm able to get on the roller coasters and I'm able to meet all the characters and stuff like that.
You gonna need. I don't care what time of the year you go to Disney. You got to go to Disney for at least a week and a half to enjoy all of it. And it's an expensive trip. But
really?
Go. Don't let me stop you.
I'm gonna go. One of these days, I'm gonna go.
But to answer your question, It's complicated. So like being a nonprofit founder, before I got into the business side of it, just doing the work, that just creating opportunity and impact, you don't think about what you could do and what brings money in the doors. Okay. So it's like I remember vividly me posting flyers on campus like, hey, I'm about to go feed the homeless because I genuinely wanted to do that. I wanted to create the opportunity, and I did that often. And it brought a name, it brought like awareness, and we were able to make impact. But when I started to understand the business side of things and how to look at numbers and data and what's the goal, I had to focus. I had to focus on what I really want. I had to make it make sense.
Because you like to do this. Yeah. This is nice. This is great for you and your heart.
Exactly.
But
so it's I had
at the same time, what are we doing?
So I think that was probably one of the biggest battles of doing the work at first, then trying to transition to a business owner, because before I was a business owner, I took kids to California.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't think about nothing, no insurance, no nothing. Like, this little girl needed an opportunity. She loves basketball. We took her to a WNBA game. She met the Sparks team. She her name on a jumbotron. It was a real experience. But because I didn't care about the business, I had to think business wise. I was like, I want to do it. I created opportunity. I did it. But now it's people are like, you taking one kid to Cali, or can you taking 40 kids to Cali?
Lord have mercy.
Or does it make sense? So it's a lot of things. So as being at the head of it, I gotta do things that I enjoy, my team enjoy, my kids enjoy, and it might not got nothing to do with numbers, nothing to do with data, but me knowing where they come from. This is something that data would never tell a story on. I just gotta do it.
Do you think you can relate to that? Like your inner child can relate to that, just seeing that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I tell my business people, my partners, my sponsors, there's things that I'm gonna do for my people that might not make sense for you, but it gotta get done because it makes sense to them. Then on the other side of it, of knowing the business and things that I want to do with my kids, I understand on the business side, I don't want to just feed the homeless. If I'm working with kids, and I tell them, and everybody see me from being working with kids, I want to create an opportunity where my kids have real success, real like achievements. I don't want to put band-aids on wounds. I really want to stitch the problem up.
Right.
So it's like when I
Clean
think,
it a couple of
yeah,
times,
like
make sure it's there,
yeah,
it's good.
yeah, we gonna do those things. But it's like when I work with kids, it's like, hey, like, what do your next 5 years look like after you leave my program? Or now that you left my program, what do that support system still look like?
Right.
What do college look like? If it's the workforce, what does that look like? Or if you're in 8th grade, let's like this, one thing right here, right? So I'm on the board of the Jeff Bezos Scholars Foundation. So I get to look at
So lit. Go ahead.
so I get to look at like the kids who apply to be a part of the Jeff Bezos Scholars Program. But I'm trying to like I'm having a conversation with those youth, and I'm telling like where I come from, like we don't know that those opportunities exist.
Right.
Like we don't know that you can be in 8th grade, 9th grade, and you can apply to a Jeff Bezos Scholars Foundation, and that cohort will support your ideas, support your thoughts, and give you the tools to be great. So it's like what the kids I work with now is like, all right, like what we working towards. Like where these resumes at? Let's get you in these scholarships. Let's get you in these
I don't
foundations.
even think I had something. Well, I want to say I had something like that when I was younger.
I never had it.
I
never
but that's
had
the
it.
difference. That's the difference. And that's why it's so profound to see that, you're able to create this space because little Haneef didn't have that. Little Haneef didn't experience somebody that took him by the hand, like, all right, let's go ahead. Well, I'm not too sure, like, no, but took him by the hand and was like, all right, let's go ahead and do this. You want to go ahead and go to California, or let's say go to Texas, and you want to go aspire to be a rodeo rider.
Seriously.
I don't know, like, for real.
No,
and just
seriously.
be like, all right, this is what we're going to do because that's important. I feel like feeding that or even nurturing that as an adult for, if not yourself, just for younger children is important because they get to see that, okay, someone does care about me. Someone does want to have this insight or this vision for me. They want me to go along with them because I want it. So now they're more excited than me to do it. And that's important. Do you feel like as an adult, do you feel like you neglect certain parts of like who you were like as a child, or do you embrace it more so?
I believe I'm at a place now where I embrace a lot of my things, a lot of my situations, but like I only know what I know. So like me having a conversation with you, we might get off the set and you might poke something at me will help me like bring a different awareness of myself. So I'm constantly like trying to grow, constantly trying to like be self-aware. But I think like what helped me a lot in that room is like the passing of my mother.
Okay.
I think like that changed my life for the better. And I think it's a thin line of losing a loved one. You can either go for the positive, go to the negatives. And I think like for me, before my mom passed, I had like this self-blame narrative.
Really?
Like I blamed the weather, I blamed the government, I blamed politics, I blamed everything. And I had a long list of just everything I blamed. And if you was to tell me right now, like, Neef, why are you not successful? I can pull that list out and
be
run it
like-
down. But the only thing that wasn't on that list was me. That's the only thing that wasn't on that list. So it's like, I think once my mom passed, I was able to put myself on that list and hold accountability
For the things that you were doing.
and stop blaming people, stop blaming situations, stop blaming systems. And when I was able to like hold accountability of my own self and focus on me, and it wasn't easy neither. Like I literally had like to go missing. Like I remember like being in college, undergrad, and I'm in a club, I'm popping bottles, and people knew me as like, oh, he's a track runner, that's cool. But then when I told everybody like I'm making a transition, like I'm about to go be in the community, I might be a substitute teacher, people like peer pressure, people like are touched like hey, you lying.
Yeah,
Like, no,
okay,
this is real.
yeah.
But it was like it was a dark moment for me because like for once in my life, every question that I asked myself, I started to get answers for. Why my mom do drugs? Why my mom get this? And it's like, damn, bro, like stop blaming these people. Like, and once I'm doing that, it started to shift myself and how I want to see myself, where I want to be at, and have like just take control of my own narrative.
Right.
And that's like the reasons like how I was able to see how I see the world now, and the lens that I see it through, was just the big thing was like removing that finger of pointing at people and blaming us. So I just put myself on that list and I was like, all right, but let me attack this list and let me start creating routines and creating things that I like. If I want to be successful, you have to be. And I truly believe that people have a feeling in their gut
That they know that they
have. And sometimes you ignore it. But I was tired of ignoring that feeling, and I just locked in and committed to that feeling full-fledged. And once I did that, it was easier to be my true self. It was easier to show up in spaces and be me, and realize that like I've been through so much. So if you don't like me for being me, I'm cool. Like I'm good.
I'm good
like,
over that.
I'm
It's okay. It's fine. And you were a baby. Like 4th grade is a baby. You were a baby.
Like 4th grade things got rough, and I'm thinking like it was like a dark cloud, and I'm thinking like all right, it's gonna go over. Like,
did you ever notice like when it stopped, or like when it became much more easier?
Yo.
So what age that was?
So I don't think anything ever get easier. Like I think we like things don't get easier. I think like you literally have to change as an individual on how you see it, how you interpret it, because things happen. It happens like it rains on the rich, it rains on the poor. Like it's going to happen. It just what did you do? Like what was the result? Like like how did you work through it? So I think like that. But I feel like for me, when I got adopted, right, I didn't get adopted in 4th grade, 5th grade. I became homeless around that time.
Okay.
And I didn't get structure until I got adopted. I moved into my adopted family home until 10th grade, but I didn't get adopted until 11th grade. So I think that right there was probably one of the hardest times in my life.
Wow.
Because I think I was confusing my freedom with being reckless. Like,
wow,
I
was that's a bar.
I was
that's
like,
a note. That's a note.
like,
Okay. My
like,
freedom being reckless.
I was just young, 8th grade, 7th grade, 9th grade, coming in the house at 4 in the morning because nobody cared, nobody knew. Like I was like, my mom was doing what she was doing. Like we were just whatever. Then I got adopted, and I'm in 11th grade, and this family's like, you gotta come home when the streetlights come on. I never knew the streetlights came on at 6:30, 7 o'clock. I'm at the park, streetlights come on.
This is new.
And I gotta make a decision, like, do I go home or do I stay at the park? Like, the park about to get popping.
Take your ass in the house.
But the first couple of times, I didn't make that decision. Like, I remember my parents pulling up to the park, dragging me out the park, like, bro, come home. And at that age, I didn't understand it. But they were just teaching me real life, like, lessons. Like,
be responsible.
Like, I'm thinking they just want me to be home. They being strict. They want me to do all these dishes. They want me to clean up all that. And it's times I had to like go in my room and contemplate: do I jump that fence and run, or do I shut up and stay grounded? With the idea, if I run, I got nowhere to go. But I'm a survivor. I'm gonna figure it out. But if I stay, I don't know what that means or what it means to me. But like, they were the first ones that gave me that feeling I missed when I was 3rd grade, 2nd grade. That family structure, like they was a family. They still is a family to this day. Like traditional, like every Friday they order out. They big on family activities, family vacations.
I feel like that's big.
I feel like that's really so big. Like when I came back into that household, they gave me that feeling again, and it's like I dove, I committed to it. It wasn't an easy commit. Like I had to think about.
I was gonna say that's like a very big switch.
Yeah, we can get into it, but it wasn't easy at all. But if I didn't make that commitment and like that family opened up their door for me. They allowed me in. And they still allow me in to this day. I love them. They're my family to this day.
That's so nice.
But it's like I always question, like, if they did not do that, this whole thing would be different.
It'd be very different.
Like this whole thing would be different.
And I think for me, it was, I had, like I said, after my parents, I got divorced, and now everybody's living in their own different type of worlds. I think things for me kind of got, they didn't get hard, but I questioned a lot of things. I questioned a lot of, relationship stuff, because I'm just seeing like how my parents' relationship manifested and how that happened. I'm like, okay, so what things to look for, what red flags to look for, and how do I navigate that now in my adult life, because I feel like that's a very important viewpoint for me, because just seeing my parents' romantic relationship, I'm like, dang. As a child, I'm seeing that, and I'm like I said, I'm very much into Disney. Yeah. I'm very used to just, the prince and the princess, and it's love at first sight. We're on the carpet, and that's what my perception of like love was or relationship was. I remember one time when I was younger, and I was at one of my birthday parties. I was like, everybody love me, and my mom was like, everybody does not love you. And I cried. I was like, damn.
At your party?
Yeah, I was like,
She a real one.
damn, that sucks. Everybody don't love me for real. And now, and not trying to say everyone doesn't, but I understood what she was trying to get at for the most part. I just didn't like her tone a little.
Yeah.
It's okay, but I still appreciate the realness of the situation because as a child, I saw how the things that I experienced manifested into like my adult life. Even with, I pushed the idea back. I was like, man, she tripping. Everybody like me, whatever the case may be. But as I went on to engage in romantic relationships and even from seeing my parents' relationship, it wasn't like, I never want to my relationship to be like that, but I learned from that. And even going through my romantic relationships as an adult, I'm like, dang, I did see this one time and this was in my parents' relationship, like the argument aspect. I'm like, listen, if I'm sitting here and we're not getting anywhere with the conversation, we're just arguing, I can't do it. So I feel like seeing certain things in your childhood, connecting with your inner child and knowing, the specific type of points that you want to change even as an adult is very important because not a lot of people are aware of that. They're not aware of, I've seen this before and why is this coming up in my adult life and situations and but also how can I change it? Because people be like, oh yeah, I see it, all right.
Yeah.
It's there. That's cool, whatever the case may be. But it's all about just making sure that you take the grasp of, okay, I know this is here. I know this is what I need to change. Like you said, I think everyone has that feeling, and it's like kind of tap on the shoulder, like, all right, you gonna do this?
Yeah.
No, I'm okay. Until you're like, all right, let me sit up in my seat real quick and go ahead and do this.
Yeah. No, like that's stomach feeling is real. Like
it's really real.
I read an article saying how like there's like I can't remember the exact number, but there's like 75,000 cells in your stomach. Mm-hmm. That's why that butterfly feeling is real. That's why when you get excited, all your feelings come from your stomach. The article actually went on and said like the heart is just an artery. Mm-hmm. It just pumps blood. Mm-hmm. Like it don't really have no feeling there.
Yo, that like, makes a lot of sense. Okay. Like keep going.
But I think like just like you said, like me being young and me being older is like, especially when I was younger, it's like I wasn't dumb. Mm-hmm. Like the school system could label me whatever they want to label me. Right. But it's like I was aware to my surroundings. What took place in the household, I probably couldn't connect on where it makes sense at and later in my life I did. Mm-hmm. But I knew what I seen. And my stomach told me it wasn't right. Right. Like when you're doing something deviant, your stomach lets you know like that's wrong.
This is not
that's
it.
Not it. Like that's not it. So I think like me being young and just seeing like how men treated my mom or how my mom treated herself or how things around me was shaping for me. Mm. I literally remember myself like looking at myself in the mirror and like, yo, like I want different. Right. And not that I want different, I want to be the one for my family. Like I want to like take on the responsibilities. Like, I wanted that, like that LeBron. Like I wanted that pressure. I was okay with it.
I was gonna say, were you okay with that? Okay.
I thought I was, because I
it's a lot.
I thought I was,
it's a lot.
And I was young, and but even to this day, like I still like aim to be that person for because I know that I'm the one. Mm-hmm. But not on no cocky, not no humble.
No,
but
that's good.
Because like the way I see the world, like my passion, my energy, how hungry I am to continue to learn. Mm-hmm. I think like those are the things that are going to continue to make me feel like I'm the one to change my family story, like the story legacy. So it's like, but everything I seen or saw as a kid is why like I treat my loved ones different to this day. Like I know how my mom was treated by men, so that I try to treat women differently. Right. But it's also hard when you're not taught. Like I remember like my mom passed away, then like within 3 months, my female friend, the first female friend I met in Baltimore, Tracy, passed away. Then 3 months later, my brother's stepmom passed away. So I lost like 3 women like close to me back to back. So I remember finding myself being closed off and pushing women away, because I feel like if you love me, you just gonna lose. You gonna leave at some point in time. At some point in time, I'm gonna lose you. So I don't want to even like commit or get so close to you. So it's like at one hand, I want to be so different than what my mom experienced. Right. But then on the other hand, like I truly did not know how to deliver that because I never seen it. I don't know. Like I don't know.
You didn't know any better.
I didn't know. So like I had to like. So me just being hungry to learn, being hungry to like shape my new life, I literally had like the women in my life. I had to listen to them. I had to like really sit there and be like and stop being defensive about everything. It's still a learning process. It's still a working
It's a lot
thing, but it's like,
to navigate.
but I truly believe that for me, a lot of my motivation is like I truly want a different experience for my kids. I don't got no kids, but I want I want to put that out there. But for, for my kids,
future
yeah,
babies.
like for my kids to be, for my wife to be, I want them to experience what I didn't experience. I don't want them to experience what I grew up in.
Right.
So it's like if I want that, I can't live or think or act the way that my upbringing was. I gotta think different than my brothers. I gotta think different than my uncles. My people that I love them. I truly do love them, but they can't give me tools to survive somewhere they never been.
Cool.
So I gotta I gotta keep
Look.
on so it's like I do believe I got the tools to survive the environment that they already in. But the environment I want to survive, I gotta go hang with people that got those tool sets and they gonna help me out.
And that's needed. That's what it is. So we came to the part of the show where it's a confession time. It's just gonna be me asking you a question, giving you a chance to be vulnerable, giving you a chance to really just answer fully with the intent of just, whatever intent that you have, just making sure that you're being open and being present with it. I wanted to ask, do you feel as if you could talk to your younger self, or if you could connect with him and give him some words of motivation or just some type of, I want to say, support, what would you say?
For my younger self, don't give up. Don't give up. I question my life. I question myself. I question everything around me. And it was plenty of times I wanted to give up. And matter of fact, to be truthful with you, it's times where I gave up. The only reason why I didn't stay down is because people came in. Some people came in for 3 weeks. Some people came in for 3 years. Some people are still there to this day. But people came in, and they guided me in some shape or form. Some people I can remember vividly. Some people I probably don't remember their name or their face. But like, I had
You
like
good for that one.
but like I think like just don't give up and know like your future is beautiful. It's hard to connect the dots looking forward. It's always easier connecting the dots looking backwards. Like earlier this morning on Instagram, I put up a video like, oh, not too long ago I was a 3rd grade teacher. Now I'm a professor. It's crazy how life looks. Full circle moment. But I can never make that connection before it happens.
Right.
So it's like give myself grace, and just know that like when you're down and low, and those things that you're asking for when you're down and low, you're speaking those things into existence. So God's gonna give you opportunity to prove yourself. Like I remember counting myself like, I want to be stronger, God. I want to be this. I want to be that. So God just threw more things in my way to make me stronger. Like that was it. So it's like just be careful what you're asking for when you're down.
The mouth is very
like
powerful.
When you're down and
you
hurt and it's looking like rock bottom. Just be careful on what you speak of because that's what you're gonna get.
I think he would like that. I think would like that. I think he would. Thank you so much, Steve. Where can everyone find you? Or
for me,
social media, social anything.
Media. So social media, I ain't the biggest social media person, but like I'm only on Instagram. Instagram, they can find me at King Hardy, King Hardy, Hardy, 3 underscores. I hope I spelled all that right.
I hope you did.
Yeah, I hope I did.
I'll make sure.
Then if you find that, then in the bio is my mentoring program.
Okay.
And between those 2 platforms, you'll get like a lot of inspiring, a lot of community engaging, and you'll just be tapped in with not just my journey, my friend's journey, the kids' journey, and that's it. But to know me personally and know me on a deeper level is to have conversations like this. Like if you're a friend of mine on social media, DM me, let's grab lunch. Ramadan starts soon, so I'm taking everybody.
Oh Lord, I forgot.
Yeah,
when does it start?
The 22nd of this month. For one thing I do for Ramadan, like every day I go out to lunch with somebody different just to talk to. So like really connect with me off of the platform, but definitely.
Well, thank you so much, Neef. This is this is a good one. This is a good one. So thank you so much for coming to talk.
Before I even wrap up, I want to say like I think I met you your freshman year coming to college, right? You
yes.
Came in, and so to say your growth, what you got going on.
Don't make me cry up in here.
Working, finding ways to keep your dream alive. taking care of your loved ones. Like this is dope. This is dope. So
Thanks,
like,
Neef.
and to know I start this season off, I hope it's like it's a dope. Yeah. So this is
You
dope.
did great.
I mean,
wow. Aw. Well, this has been an episode of the Confession Corner. I'm Vina. This is Neef, and we are out. Peace.